This episode of the Earthy podcast, I'll explore deforestation in Australia and India, discussing causes, consequences, management strategies, and environmental mitigation with expert guests Dr. Smith and Dr. Narendran. Let's start by understanding why deforestation is a matter of concern in Australia and India. Both countries have unique challenges driven by various factors. In Australia, specifically the Daintree rainforest, deforestation is primarily driven by the human activities of agricultural expansion, mining, and urbanization. The clearing of forest for pasture land or resources disputes delicate ecosystems that leads to habitat loss, impacting native species like koalas and wallabies. In India, specifically the Assam forest, population growth, demand for agricultural land, and infrastructural development contribute to deforestation. The loss of forests in India exacerbates soil erosion, disrupts water cycles, and threatens the rich biodiversity of the region. Soil erosion is caused by the trees that once held the soil together are now gone, which makes the soil loose and allows it to erode away. This is seconded by the Global Forest Watch. According to them, from 2001 to 2022, Australia lost 8.85 megahectares of tree cover, equivalent of a 21% decrease in tree cover since 2000, and 2.30 gigatons of CO2 emissions. And in India, in 2010, India had 31.3 megahectares of natural forest, extending over 11% of its land area. In 2022, it lost 117 kilohectares of natural forest, equivalent to 62.9 megatons of CO2 emissions. Both these statistics emphasize how deforestation threatens our biodiversity. Now let's ask Dr. Smith. Dr. Smith, what are Australia's sustainability efforts regarding its forests? The Australian National Government has implemented various management strategies to combat deforestation issues with a focus on sustainable logging practices, reforestation and conservation efforts, particularly in the Daintree rainforest, where approximately half of its 1,200 square kilometre area has been lost since European settlement. Notably, organisations like Rainforest Rescue have planted over 50,000 trees and contributed to the long-term protection of 31 properties in the Daintree through their buyback program, with the goal to buy back 180 properties by 2040. The government has also established protected areas like national parks in the Daintree rainforest and Queensland to safeguard biodiversity and promote ecotourism. However, these strategies have short-term economic disruptions as traditional industries transition to more sustainable practices. Furthermore, seeds are ethically collected from the Daintree lowland rainforest between the Daintree River and Cape Tribulation as the trees are replanted in the same area. So currently, this nursing facility propagates around 12,000 trees a year. In the long term, though, Australia hopes to restore ecosystems and combat the adverse effects of climate change. Revegetation and land repurchase in the Daintree rainforest are crucial for preserving this ecologically vital environment. Revegetation involves planting native species and restoring damaged areas, while land repurchase prevents further deforestation and habitat degradation. By habitat loss, animals can become endangered, which harms the food web in diverse ways, such as predators needing to find new prey or prey becoming overwhelmed, harming other animals. These strategies not only protect the rainforest biodiversity, but also contribute to global climate change mitigation by sequestering carbon dioxide, making them essential for the long-term well-being of the Daintree rainforest and the planet. Before we start talking about India, deforestation here is primarily driven by the human activities of loose law enforcement on the use of land, which also leads to unsustainable and illegal agriculture, which allows room for cash crops such as palm oil and rubber. When law enforcement is not prevalent or easy to evade, people cut down as many trees as necessary for their illegal endeavors, which is very financially successful for them, encouraging others to do the same. This cycle causes mass deforestation. Dr. Narendran, what are India's sustainability efforts regarding its forests? In India, particularly in Assam, which has experienced significant tree cover loss, various initiatives have been undertaken to address deforestation. These include afforestation, reforestation, and the implementation of stricter forest conservation laws. A notable effort is the Assam Project on Forest and Biodiversity Conservation, APFPC, launched in 2012 by the state government. This project aims to restore forest ecosystems, protect wildlife, and improve the livelihoods of forest-dependent communities. Strategies encompass activities like crop planting, local flora and fauna protection, and agricultural education for the local population to promote responsible forest care. Importantly, a €50 million project agreement out of a €6.5 million budget has recently been signed to plant 100 million trees, showing promising progress. However, the implementation of these strategies faces challenges due to the delicate balance between development and conservation. Revegetation and community education are crucial for restoring degraded areas, preserving biodiversity, and promoting sustainable coexistence. Revegetation helps heal ecosystems by reintroducing native plant species and preventing soil erosion, while community education empowers residents to manage forests responsibly, reducing the impacts of events like illegal logging and contributing to global climate change mitigation efforts through rainforest preservation. Effective control of illegal logging necessitates actions along multiple policy areas, including good governance, anti corruption measures, land reform, industrial and fiscal policy reform, and development assistance. Now let's analyze the management responses of Australia and India. Both nations recognize the importance of conservation, sustainable resource use, and the preservation of biodiversity. They also both look into revegetation. In the Daintree, they also buy back the rainforest. In Assam, they also educate forest communities. As we face the global impacts of human-induced environmental changes, the questions of mitigation looms large. Are the current strategies effective, or do we need new solutions? I believe that much progress has been made, and buying back forests can help deforestation stop. Planting new trees also really helps the forests and assists the soil as well as the animals. When looking at deforestation in terms of the amount of CO2 in the air as a criteria, planting new trees is extremely important and effective, but it is still a very long-term solution, and it will take a while for the CO2 to be taken back into the trees. In conclusion, both Australia and India have made strides in addressing deforestation, each with its unique approach. Revegetation is crucial in both the Daintree rainforest and the Assam forest to restore damaged areas, enhance biodiversity, and mitigate climate change. The Daintree rainforest's measures help reverse deforestation and habitat degradation, safeguarding unique and endangered species. In the Assam forest, revegetation efforts contribute to maintaining a sustainable ecosystem, support local communities, and sequestering carbon dioxide, thus playing a crucial role in global climate change mitigation. Educating forest communities in the Assam forest is essential to promote sustainable forest management, reduce illegal logging, and empower locals with alternative livelihoods. Implementing this approach in the Daintree rainforest can ensure the preservation of its unique biodiversity and prevent habitat destruction. Buying back parts of the Daintree rainforest is vital to halt further deforestation and habitat degradation. A strategy that should be considered in the Assam rainforest is to protect its critical ecosystems from similar threats while promoting conservation efforts. Also, revegetation can be a criterion that connects back to CO2 levels. While this is effective as a long-term strategy, as a short-term strategy, this may not be effective enough as a mitigation strategy. While revegetation is good, it may also be important to stop deforestation by buying back the forest and also stop emitting greenhouse gases. Thank you to our guests and our audience.